What's going on, guys? Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking us on out. You guys are beautiful. Love you. Last night, Miami Heat getting their second straight win. Tyler Herro, boy wonder, getting it done with a monster fourth quarter as the Heat get a victory over the Sacramento Kings, the great Eric Reed, dubbing it Revenge Week, which as Pope Petty, I do appreciate that. I do like the fact that they go all of a sudden into the idea of getting themselves right after a tough West Coast trip, tough losses to the Golden State Warriors, and a surprising loss. I think what everybody kind of looked upon as, an early rock bottom of the season, although it might be a bit dramatic for 7 games, was losing to the Kings in the fashion that they did. So to get this one, especially with no Jimmy Butler, was really encouraging, especially I think the performance that Tyler had there in the fourth quarter. I think that people were having some grumblings. Is this fit going to work? Is Tyler Herro going to, Tyler with the offense? I think that, it was great to see Tyler have that kind of game. He dominated that fourth quarter. He absolutely took over. He was scoring on all 3 levels. And that shot that he hit at the end of the game was absolutely clutch. I actually thought this was an interesting game from a lot of perspectives because, we still quite haven't gotten a signature win yet with everybody fully healthy throughout a game. It's almost like an opposite Dolphins Tua thing that's going on there because Tyler had the eye poke that happened, and he had the big glass on. I wasn't boots on the ground for this game. I was at a country concert, watched this game back last night. But Jimmy Butler was not in the game, so we didn't get Jimmy. Jimmy wasn't with Kyle Lowry, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Herro in the starting group. So that was another interesting element to this, but I think the thing that Eric Spoelstra said that was really smart afterwards was the idea that they have gone through some adversity because this was not an easy game against the Kings. It was a back-and-forth contest, and the Heat did have to muster up a fourth-quarter comeback, much like they did against the Golden State Warriors where they had a third quarter and really had to turn things around late. So I think one of the good things has been that this Heat team has taken that adversity, has been able to overcome it, and get themselves an important couple of wins. I mean, it's important to get that record right. They have a lot of home games coming up. Excuse my phone. They have a lot of important games coming up here at home, and you got to get games against the Kings. You got to get this game, this quick little road trip they got out to Indiana for a one and done. I think you got to go and start taking out some of these teams that you are expected to be better than in the East. You had some slip-ups, but now is the time where you kind of get things right. And I think the thing that was impressive with Tyler Herro yesterday was just seeing, the moxie, the bounce in his step, as he says, not being in the mud and being able to come through with some really, really clutch baskets for him, including that three-pointer at the end where looked kind of similar to Jimmy Butler's jumper that sealed the deal against the Golden State Warriors, where it was like a pump double clutch and hoist up a 3. Very, very difficult shot to make. And in fact, it was funny hearing Mike Brown afterwards was really complaining about this call, saying that he got away with the travel. And Tyler had said that, after the game, where his quote was that you could basically call a travel on every call in the NBA. He's doing the old, there's holding on every play in the NFL. So they just got to take that one on the chin, which is a savage response to Mike Brown. But Mike Brown was really upset. He's like basically saying that the Kings are only not getting calls because they're the Kings. I know Sabonis has fouled out of a gazillion games this year, which shocking. Sabonis has a decent game, but in the fourth quarter, gets his lunch money taken by Bam Adebayo, who was also great in the fourth. And we also saw a really good performance from Kyle Lowry. I think Kyle Lowry really showed some good bursts in this game. 17 first half points for them to really keep him engaged. They needed that offensive production to his comfort spots. So all in all, this was a good performance from a team that, people will say, hey, you're in a dogfight with the Kings. I think right now the important thing is the Heat need to get good winning habits together and come through. And this was a clutch win. I think you had a lot of late baskets that really mattered from Bam, from Kyle, from Tyler, from Max Strus. And to get this one across the finish line and to start making that record look a little bit more respectable is important. And I think for Tyler, this is kind of his first moment of the season, right, where he has, been able to carry the team. He's got that big contract, that big responsibility. And with no Jimmy Butler, this is a great opportunity to show, hey, you can be the guy. You can carry this team. You could be the guy who is, getting the extension, deserves the extension that you're getting. Because ultimately what that number says to people is that, yeah, you can be a guy who contributes to winning, which we know that he can, but not just in a role. Like, you could be a go-to scorer, which was a huge element that they did not have alongside Jimmy Butler in the postseason, especially a guy who really specializes in that, because Jimmy and Bam are so vital to the defensive principles of this team. You need that guy who's just ignitable bucket getter, and we saw him live up to his nickname yesterday. He was a bucket. He was absolutely sensational, and I think for the Miami Heat, that was important to see. And it was interesting. It is interesting to see that this came with no Jimmy Butler, who I don't know if he was at a country concert. I'm very confused by his Instagram, Jimmy Butler, because I was actually, like I said, I was at a country concert. I was at this thing called Stars and Strings Day. It's a country concert that my company puts on, and he has a really good relationship. Jimmy Butler's loves country music, and has a relationship with a lot of big time famous country music artists like Kane Brown. And Kane Brown was at the show. And by the way, he's awesome. But they do this cool thing where it was like they're doing I don't know what the musical term of it is, not a melody because they're not like all doing it in sync, but basically like they had three artists. They had Dustin Lynch, Old Dominion, Kane Brown all at the stage at the same time. And they're basically alternating up and down doing songs. And I think the way it was set up was they were all supposed to do 4 songs. And Kane Brown then all of a sudden is just like, hey, why don't we do one more? Out of just nowhere. But he wanted to go last. So it would go Dustin Lynch, Old Dominion, Kane Brown. And it's very odd. Like, because here's the thing that was weird about it. Kane Brown, like, all of a sudden is like going in the back. And then he comes back out. And then he then says he doesn't know what to play. So he's just kind of like, it's just odd. Like, why would a guy who is as big an artist as him not know what song to play? So I just found the whole thing odd because Jimmy wasn't playing that night. But I was like, I wonder if Jimmy's on the bench. I didn't know. I only watched a little bit of the broadcast on my phone during a break, and then didn't watch till I got back. But I did see that he was on the bench last night. And I was trying to figure out, like, did he make it to the concert? Because I was like timing it from the time one of my friends was texting me about the Tyler Herro game winner and the time that they were kind of all hemming and hawing and doing the song, because it would have I technically think you could do it, get to FTX Arena to the Guitar Hotel in like 30 minutes, but you'd need no traffic, which seems like an impossibility in Miami, unless I guess you had some kind of escort that was taking you there. But I don't know. I just found the whole thing funny because I did see that Jimmy Butler posted some stuff on his social media. I guess I could check right now of the concert, and I was wondering if Kane Brown ever, because he posted like pictures of the win. He's posting Old Dominion and he posted Dustin Lynch, so he's posting all 3 of them. He's got pictures of him there backstage. So I'm just wondering, how the hell did he get there? He's like a superhero, Jimmy Butler. Because I'm like, oh, was Jimmy on the bench? He was on the bench. I guess technically, as soon as the buzzer goes off, you fly there. You technically could do it. But you know what? Lifestyles of the rich and famous, dude. That seems to be a mystery for me. I don't know how the hell he was able to do that. But either way, it'll be good to see him back in the lineup. The Heat, back-to-back big-time wins for them. And Mike Brown, I'm sorry, a lot of sour grapes for these Heat wins. You got the Golden State Warriors, they're whining about it. You got the Kings, they're whining about it. Everybody's all upset. But the big thing here is Boy Wonder, big old grapefruits love, big time win. That's why he is who he is, and the Miami Heat continue to start getting that record nice and even.